Want some grapes? Yeah, sure. Okay. I think you should definitely keep that in only in fast forward.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to Toad TV.
Hi, everybody.
I am Mary Beth,
I'm Helen.
and we are the Crafty Toads. We are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow, where we dye yarn and make bags for creative people. And as you can see, winter is coming. Kind of past the whole, it's so hot, I can't stand to have anything on me anymore, and now we actually turned up the heat.
And tomorrow, the low is 28, which is just 28 Fahrenheit. That's just ridiculous.
Nope. Not ready for winter. I want fall, extended fall. Fall was nice.
Yeah,
we had a nice
we
fall.
We actually had a pretty good fall.
We did. And we got to go places where we got to see really pretty falls. So I can't complain too much, but I do love fall.
Yeah.
Not ready to go into the gray of November.
So we have, we got a couple new followers recently. So I just wanted to, again, we are sisters. Hard to tell, I know. And
I'm the one with the hat.
we live in South Jersey on Long Beach Island, which is the barrier island.
We are very, very lucky to be able to live here.
Discussing with my brother last night, he was telling us that by mid-century our island will be gone.
I'll be gone too, so I'm not.
He is just, you know,
ray of sunshine.
but you know, that's him. So that was fun.
You know, in the 100-acre wood,
let's sell the house now. Then
the gloomy part of the forest where Eeyore lives.
Yeah,
Damien is the gloomy part of the forest. This will be the one podcast that he watches.
Tea in my new mug.
I think you need to turn it so everybody can see it.
Thank you.
We had a house guest this weekend, and she left us
my new mug.
the mugs. I had one too, but I'm already done my tea. I am drinking my ice water in my Bubba, which is the Walmart knockoff.
The Walmart Yeti.
Right. Hey, it works, and it costs probably a fraction of what it costs.
Oh, and most definitely costs a fraction of what a Yeti costs. And I can put ice in my cup at night, and it'll still be there in the morning.
Yep.
So.
Love my Bubba. All right.
That's it. Podcast name.
Love my Bubba.
Love my Bubba. And if only I could do it like in the, you know, southern twang that you used.
Okay.
So, we have, this is an episode.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
That is full of everything except knitting.
No, we have some knitting.
We both, actually, there was a little bit of scrambling so that we could have some knitting content.
Okay. I have 2 new projects cast on. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
You're just...
I have 2 new projects cast on too. I cast them on in the last 48 hours.
I did a little bit before that, so, but I have 2 new projects, all right?
Don't forget to do newest first, so you get them all.
Oh, okay. All right. Newest first. Okay. All right. So, questions and comments. Okay. So Melanie she can't wait to see how the punch needle goes.
Stay tuned, Melanie. There's a whole section.
Yeah. I have feels about punch needle and not all good. We will talk about that last. Or a little bit later. Okay, so a lot of people said that they're really excited that we're going to be doing lots more crafts and it's not just knitting. Thank you so much for letting us know this. We are going to be putting in, well, you're going to see this week, we have a whole bunch of stuff to show. So, all right. Cheryl says that she feels like the year 2020 is going to be very crafty.
It is. It's going to be the year of the toad. We're going to have crafts coming out our ears.
Yeah, we have plans. So plans. Bonnie McPhee says that she just found us and she loves anything to do with handwork and she loves that she's so excited. So thank you so much, Bonnie. Welcome to the Hollow.
Right.
And we are going to, we love to do things, crafty things too, so that we're so excited to share things.
And thank you for commenting that you found us and everything.
Yes.
So it's always good to meet the new people.
Right. Rena says that our experience at SAF sounds so wonderful, and it was so nice for the people who brought us our socks and gifts. We 100% agree. Thank you again, Bernice and Teresa, because anyway, you guys rock your socks. Our Airbnb looks so nice. It was one of our
fun Airbnb, and it had great views.
Yeah,
So.
really, really good.
Even with the lack of a television set.
I know. We worked our way
It's
around
amazing
it.
how we, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Dee says she loves the podcast. Could we hold our items up to the screen for just a few seconds later? It takes her a few seconds to focus.
We will try and do that because I do know that we tend to rush through.
Right. So we will try and do that. She was happy to see about the punch needle projects, and she's interested to know how the sock weight yarn will work. So we haven't gotten there yet because we're still really, really at the beginning, but we will see. We will see. Okay. Soul Bibba said that it was a treat to meet us at SAF. She has cast on her Jane Austen shawl and ordered her first ever advent calendar. From us. So thank you so much. Okay, if the Jane Austen shawl...
No, it was the Bronte sisters.
She says the Jane Austen shawl.
No, I know, the one you were looking at yesterday.
Well, okay. So if the Jane Austen shawl is the Bronte sisters one, I don't know if it's the same one or not. Somebody else put up that they were doing the Bronte sisters with some of our yarn, and...
I wouldn't think it's the same because they're different authors.
Okay. Fine. Be all literary. Okay, so please share pictures because I want to cast on the Bronte sisters one. That's beautiful, and now I know what one. Now I want to know what the Jane Austen one is. So please share pictures. We want to see. If you want to share them on our Facebook page, Crafting with the Toads, it is facebook.com/thecraftytoads. It's a place where you can post your pictures, and we'd love to see it.
Also, if you are coming to join us, please make sure you answer the questions because I'm getting people trying to join and they're not answering the questions, and I'm not going to approve you if you don't answer the questions because I don't know who everybody is, and it's just a way of letting us know that, you know, you're not going to be a troll.
Okay.
So.
Tanya wants to know, do you sell the blurb leftovers on your website, and if yes, what is the price? Okay. Well, because you asked that question, yes, we do.
Right.
Because now we have them listed.
And they are $30 and they get you about 100 grams.
Right. So they will be at least 100 grams. They may be a little bit over, but they will be at least 100.
And just so everybody knows, it's a grab bag listing. So it's, you don't pick your colors, we pick your colors. And
we have bags already pre-done, and if you buy a blurb, we just grab one of them and send it out to you. They are all beautiful because, hey, they're our yarn.
And it's going to be at least 100 grams. You might get 120, you might get 130.
But it'll be at least 100. And we try and make sure that colors go together.
Yes, yeah.
Which, again, it's ours, so they all go together. It's beautiful. Okay. Fernie says, love your stitching. You aren't saying what you like about the cloth that you like, which would be great for those of us who are newbies. You were clear in what you didn't like in the 14 count 8, LOL. So, okay, we will try and be more specific about what we like about the different fabrics. And as we talk about our stitching, which we do have, we'll try and be a little bit more specific. Thank you so much, because that's a good note to think.
Yes.
Okay, Donna says lots of pretty projects, and once we said that there were advent calendars, she went to the podcast and bought one, or went to the store and bought one, so thank you so much. Really, we had quite a few people buy the advent calendar. It was just really, really very nice.
Yes. It's
Thank
a nice
you.
little week.
Yeah.
A little stressful. Like, oh, look, we sold another one.
Okay, Brendy says that she loves our gentle sense of humor and our yarns and bags are incredible. She is greetings from Chester, Liz Street in the northeast of England.
Well, thank you. And
welcome, Brendy.
I am pretty sure that me complaining about my cold is nothing compared to yours.
Also, expect a knock on your door someday, because I love England so much. I want to go back so much. Okay. Kim says that she loved the Newsy updates and seeing a picture of her, which her mom got such a kick out of, or she loved that our mom got such a kick out of the story that we told her, and she loves hearing that we'll be back at SAF. Carlene says that the projects are going to keep us out of trouble.
Well,
You would think so, wouldn't you? But
maybe.
do you know what it does? It just makes me want to buy more. Simply More says she loves the longer podcast so she can knit with us. Thank you so much. Okay. Marnie says, what is the math for cutting the fabric? So, Marnie, we will put a link to, I put it in one of, I think it was on the Facebook page, but there's a website, and I think it's Yarntree is the one that does.
It's yarntree.com. We have been a little lax in our show notes recently. We will either have them below this, down below, or there will be a link down below to our website or our blog where we will have those show notes. I'm not sure where we're going to put them this time, but we will put a link to that.
And we will put a link, because you put in your number of stitches and how much width you want around the edges for finishing and that sort of thing, and the whatever you're using, like 32 count, 16 count, and it will tell you.
And there are like two border entries. One is for how much you want to have finishing to go around it, and one is how much border you want, how much you want the fabric to actually come in. So you're putting two of those in. So just because sometimes I'm like, oh, they just want the border twice.
Right, but that's not true. Excuse me.
I think this is the first time we podcast.
I know, really. Turn that off. All right. That's not a good example. So, and we don't have any finished objects to show.
Yeah, well, but it's just so you know when you're doing it, if you put 2 and 2, that means you're going to get
So here's my...
essentially 16 inches extra all around.
Right. Here's my Buffy that I finished. So for the first one, it's going to ask you how much you want between the edge of your your stitching and the edge of your finished piece. So if I were going to do this and I wanted this much space, I would put in that I want like 1.5 inches between the edge of the end finished and then the edge of my finished piece. And then you put in how much you want to actually fold around or finish the project. So that those are what the two borders that they're talking about are.
Like this one, which we'll go into detail what this is, but there would be no finishing edge because it's just to here.
Right.
So
it's not folded around the edges or anything like that. Okay. Susan says she was talking about the Halloween Advent calendar, which was our countdown to Halloween, and this was one of the projects in it, and she loves the fact that she gets to do a cross stitch. Judy Gibbons said, you can buy the shaker box as shown for the Blackbird Design Crow.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Okay.
I did know that.
Okay. All right. That's very cool. She also, her vote is for the frog prints for the fairy tales, and she loves the book sections. So, she said, Rhinebeck, is it also where the Country Living has the antique show? Yes, it is. It's the Dutchess County Fairgrounds.
We are trying to figure out how we can do that.
I know.
Because that has been something that we have wanted to do for years.
I know.
I think it's beginning of June when they do that. Yeah, because
it's the first weekend in June.
It's usually the Garden Walk in Keyport.
Right.
So.
One of these days.
We're going to get our Airbnb back and we're just going to go.
Yeah. Tina says, how did I miss the blurbs? Better start saving for SAF. Hope you'll be there next year. We will.
You missed them because we missed them. We did not bring them with us to SAF.
Ginny says, keep the episodes long. A while back, you started making a patchwork quilt from a block a week. Did I somehow miss the finished quilt? Okay,
there's going to be the next
this is
episode.
Our shame face.
for the episode after, is the focus is going to be the things we start and don't finish.
Right.
Because people have, and we always gloss over it and don't mention it, have, and here we are, asked us about our embroidery a day thing that we did.
Right.
So we will update you on all that.
Yes. Helen was just
Epic failness.
Helen was just reading in a book about doing a craft for 365 days a year, and
Right.
Ray was suggesting that maybe we go back to the embroidery. Okay, so we're gonna.
We'll cover all that. No, you did not finish. You did
No.
not miss a finish on it. So
Nope.
that's
Where
the
it
easy
finished
answer.
is where it ended. We
Right.
just did not finish them. However, we have plans for them, and we will go into
Yeah.
that. So, all right. Michelle says she
Okay.
loves the polar bears, and it looks like we're going to be busy. We find that we are best when we're busy because otherwise things happen, and that's never good. Okay.
Spend money and it's just never good.
Really never good. All right. Studio KG says she's intrigued about the New Year's projects, and she works a full-time during the week and a part-time job on the weekend, so she's started listening to books on CD, and Daisy Jones and the Six was her read going to and from work. So I'm so glad that
Yeah.
you liked it. I would also recommend doing Evelyn
The Seven
Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is also by the same author, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Awesome. Really, really good. Also, she recommends Fatal Destiny by, Fatal Destiny, Edith Cavell, World War I Nurse by Terry Arthur. She said, try and get the British version to read or listen to. And it just, she said it's a wonderful, wonderful book. So we will check into that because we love to find new authors.
Yeah.
And that's very, very cool.
Also, for the new people, we have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
One of whom is playing with her duck at the moment
We apologize.
because I'm not paying attention to her.
Okay. All right. We had a couple of people suggest that maybe we use Waze or a different GPS system that might not take us through Tennessee. Whereas it was the fastest way, and it may have taken us into another state. It was gorgeous. It was an absolutely
Yeah,
spectacular
it may not have
drive.
been the shortest way. It was the fastest way.
Right, and we did really, really enjoy the drive.
Yeah.
So, somebody says that they hope we have a Rapunzel colorway. We will keep that in mind. May says that variety video is perfect because she does crochet, cross stitch, knit, weave, so she does a whole bunch.
Okay.
All right. I think that is it. All right. Lots and lots of comments. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right. Shall we talk about what we're wearing?
Yes, because I'm getting a little warm.
I know. You wouldn't have thought so, but
No.
yeah, I'm getting a little warm. All right. Would you like to go first or shall I?
Yes. Sure. I will go first.
Okay.
So we are focusing on a couple kits that we have in the shop. So the first one is, we're highlighting, not focusing.
Yeah, highlighting.
So this is the Netflix and Chill shawl by,
I'm falling down on my cues here. These are both by the same person. They are both by, I know it's Boho Chic,
Chic, yeah.
and it's Annie Lupton.
okay, so she is Boho Chic and Annie Lupton. So this shawl is perfect to watch Netflix, chill, and knit. There is some texture to it that are just some purl stitches. I would love to take credit for this gorgeous piece, but this was sample knit for us. It takes 2 skeins of the main color and 1 skein of this. And it is done up in our Great Alone color is the main, and Illusion is the gray. And we have kits with patterns in the shop.
I brought a kit to show, so this is what the kit looks like, and then we have the pattern to go with it, and it is kit up exactly like
Yeah.
the shawl.
So it has tassels, 3 tassels, and it's just a lovely big old shawl.
Right. If you would like to get it, use different colors, that is fine too.
Yeah.
So it is the Knit Flicks and Chill by Annie Lupton. I am wearing the Lunaria, also by Annie Lupton. And that is this one. I love this shawl so much. Again, this was sample knit for us from one of our viewers. And
this is so Victorian.
I just love this so much. So much. My colors.
So this is Sense and Sensibility from our Jane Austen collection. I'm Not Really Left-Handed from The Princess Bride, and Goldfinch from our Lost Words collection.
And again, we have the pattern and the kit available. This one takes one of each skein. So we have those. And I am not putting that back on because I am just too warm now.
Okay.
Also, I am wearing on my head we're calling it the Dobby hat. It's on, the pattern is by Kendra Nitta, and it's the elf cap. It's ELF cap. Excuse me. And we are going to have this as a kit with random mini skeins and the pattern available. It's available in the shop.
And it's a really fun pattern because it is meant to look like you are wearing multiple hats, one on top of the other. So you have the ribbing, and then you have another hat, and then you see under here's another hat, then that, and then this one. So that it all looks like just you're wearing a stack of hats on your head like Dobby.
So this is just random colors with a pom-pom on top.
So this kit comes with 5 minis and the pattern.
And again, completely random. However, we're giving you the option to tell us I hate purple or I love orange, you know, and we will try and mix and match to fit. Excuse me. I have dog hair. Oh. Okay. I think that's
This is a quick, fun knit for holiday gifts.
Right.
For your Harry Potter friends.
Yeah, this is very cool. This is a slouchy hat. Kayla, who knit it for us, said that she made the large size and it's a bit more slouchy than she thought. So if you think that this is, I have kind of a big head, so this is kind of slouchy on me. If you think that you might want it smaller, you would do one of the smaller sizes. Yeah. But yeah, I love this hat. I'm just gonna wear this hat all winter because I think it's very cool.
It's such a cute hat.
I know. All right. I think that's it as far as that is concerned, right?
Yep.
We don't have anything else as far as admin.
No.
We should mention that we are all over on the social medias. We are on Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook as Toad Hollow and Jay. As I said before, we have the Facebook group that is the Crafty Toads. It's facebook.com/the Crafty Toads, where people put up things that they're working on, and it's great to see what everybody's doing. It's kind of like Ravelry, only for all different crafts.
Right.
So, and on Ravelry we are the Crafty Toads. I think that's it. I think that's my blurb. Okay.
Okay, and last thing, we are way behind in sending out prizes and thank yous to our sample knitters. We are going to get on top of that at the end of this week and beginning of next. So
they will be coming out, I promise.
We took a couple days off, which we are about to discuss. So
right,
that fell behind.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Okay, shall we talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
The elephant in the room. Yeah.
Make it sound so ominous.
I know. Oh, so this past weekend we went to a stitching retreat in Cape May, New Jersey. It was called. Well, no, it was not called. It was a stitching retreat put on by Stitch in Cape May, which is the needlepoint store down there. And we had such a good time.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Had really good time. Our friend Ray came out and joined us and spent the weekend, and we had a wonderful time with her. And then we just crafted for a couple of days. It was just amazing.
And the retreat was a class with the primitive hair.
Which, by the
which
way,
was kind of cool.
we met the primitive hare. So
We call her Izzy now because
Yeah.
we're friends.
we're cool. We're BFFs.
We have the picture to prove it.
Yeah,
So
that was so much fun.
yeah, should
Really,
we start
really
with?
Yes.
Okay. So we were given homework before the retreat. We were sent a pattern, the thread, and the fabric to stitch up the snowflake.
Which we didn't know what we were going to do.
Right,
we kind
we
of
had-
thought that was going to be what we were doing at the retreat.
No idea how we were going to finish it. And we figured that was the class. We missed several parts of the retreat because
We didn't understand how.
there were issues with communication and not on our side. So when we got there on Saturday, everybody was finishing theirs and we're like, oh, okay. However, Izzy, our new friend, came and told us how to do it. So we made these snowflakes.
Aren't
which
they
were
pretty?
So pretty.
And what I thought was kind of messy to begin with, now I love.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Yeah, I
love
really
it.
didn't love the stitching of because I don't like stitching in white very much. But then you add, and I'm not a jewel person,
No, not at all.
but I just thought the jewels were just the right amount and perfect. So we got the wooden snowflake as part of the class, and then we finished it off. So it will go on our Christmas tree.
Yes. All right, so part of the snowflake is that the middle is cut out, and then you put the fabric around it and push it in. And if you line it up properly, which we were not doing to begin with, but then she showed us how to do it, it lined up beautifully and it snapped right in. And then it's
Some of
just
us
such...
went rogue and decided they knew how to do it.
Yes, I cut mine before. There was a piece of cardboard in there, and I used it as a template and cut my fabric out. And then I found out afterwards that you're supposed to put the fabric on, slide the back in, and then cut off the excess fabric, and then use the cardboard to hide your pieces of fabric that you have now glued to the back or stitched to the back, depending on your purity. You know, there are purists that only will stitch. And I did not do that because I cut mine too small, and Izzy kind of gave me this wobbly smile when I was showing her what I had done. However, I would like to point out that when I did that, my back is all nice and clean. And I was able to write on the back the date and the retreat, and I don't have any fabric hanging over or anything.
The biggest
like that.
secret was that lining the two circles up, because you have the hole here for your ribbon and then the hole in the circle, and you had to line those up because then it just snapped right in.
Right, because
Otherwise, we were like banging it with our phone,
oh my
trying to
God.
get it in.
people were looking at us because we were banging on the table trying to get to go in, and then she's like, "No, you line up the circles," and it just slid right in. It's like the magic box. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. All right. So follow directions. It's amazing
Right.
what happens.
Exactly.
So this was one of our makes at the retreat, and then they gave us a bag, and in the bag were,
I won't grab mine because we don't need to show.
oh, okay. So in the bag were a whole bunch of free patterns from the Primitive Hair. Then, I mean, there's some from Sue Hillis Designs, whom the owner of the store is getting in touch with to see if she can come next year. So that's kind of cool. So
Yeah, they do this retreat every year.
we've got maybe 9-10 free patterns
Yeah.
to do, and then they did a pattern that
It's one of her pattern. It's a primitive hair pattern that she sells.
sorry, I should have had this done ahead of time.
Hey, great about giving us pictures of finished?
But they gave us a thing that's a deer, and they give us a piece of fabric and a needle
And the floss.
and the floss. The floss is tucked in, so I've got the floss. some twisted cord that they were twisting in the shop, they said, and a charger plate because they finished it by putting it in the middle of a charger plate like this so that the whole thing will go here in the middle. So they gave us everything that we need to make this beautiful project. And that was just a door prize for everybody who came.
Yeah, everybody got that.
On top of all the free patterns that we got, also there was a little thing of needlework soap so that you can rub your thread on it and it prevents it from getting tangled. There was a bag with, oh, sorry, babe. All the stuff we needed for the actual project that we were working on.
No, that didn't even come with that.
Here's another pattern that they gave us.
A whole kit for.
The whole kit for, which is another one of Izzy's designs with floss and the fabric. You told them what you got. You preferred linen or Aida, and so you got everything that you needed for this. I mean, it's just, we opened the bag and it was one thing after another. It was amazing.
And we kind of figured that the beach stitches was the project that we'd be working on in the class, because that was our goodie bag when we got there on Friday. But then when we got there Saturday,
Oh, that's right.
there was this all kit up for us, and this is the exclusive project for the retreat. So she is not, the Primitive Hair is not selling this. You had to go to the retreat to get this.
However, Stitch by Stitch has it.
Are they selling it?
Yep, there was something on Facebook that they have it.
Oh, okay. So we will put the information for Stitch by Stitch in Cape May, because this is a beautiful project. So it's a drum, but it says Winter Wonderland, and then there's the cardinal on the other end. So that was all kit up, and that was what we were working on in the class.
And surprisingly, this is what I have been
Right.
spending
Oh,
most
and
of
they
my
gave
time
us
on.
a needle minder, an octopus needle minder.
I have to find mine. Don't know where
So-
mine is.
This is how far I have gotten on the Winter Wonderland. I am not going to make the drum. I don't have much use for the drum. I don't understand. I don't
This is
understand.
key for us. We don't understand a lot.
Right, I don't understand the need for the drum. So if I had
If there was something we were going to use it for.
yeah. But I'd love it, because I'm gonna love it flat with the
Right.
cardinal here, because you know us in cardinals. So and it's such a fun stitch. So I chose linen. Mary Beth chose Aida.
I chose Aida. So this is how far I am so far.
And I will go into why I like linen.
Okay. I am doing this, I'm using 3 threads for the 14 count. So it's definitely a better coverage. Here, I can show you, because this morning I forgot I was using 3 threads and I only used 2. So this snowflake right here is only 2. All the snowflakes next to it have 3 threads. And I think it shows up better.
Oh, it's very definite.
With the 3 threads with the 14 count, because of the larger holes and the larger boxes. So I'm really not minding using the 14 count so much.
Now that you figured out the coverage.
Now that I've figured out the coverage. 16 count and 18 count are my favorites, because the holes are smaller and the boxes are smaller, so that the coverage, I think, looks better.
It's a finer work. I like the
Right.
finer work.
It most definitely is.
Yeah.
So that is why I tend to go more towards 16 and 18 count, but the 14 count will work in a pinch.
To me, 1632 count is ideal. So this is 30 count linen. And I prefer the look of it. It's a softer feel in your hand when you're working on it. And I just prefer the look of the linen. It's, again, just a softer look than the Aida, a more, I don't want to say refined, because it is sort of denigrating your look.
No, mine is definitely a more rustic look.
Yeah.
The Aida is a more rustic
Yeah.
fabric than linen.
So, and I have gotten used to going the coverage of 2/2.
So for those of you that are not cross stitchers, 2 over 2 means 2 threads over 2 boxes.
Right.
With Ada, you normally do 2 over 1, which is 2 threads over 1 box, which is what I like because for some reason my mind just gets very confused when I have to count 2 boxes.
Yeah, and actually I was noticing when I was working on it this morning, I'm not even counting so much anymore. My eye is
It's
getting
become
used to it,
natural.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Because I do like the look of that.
yeah.
I really do. And again, if we hold these up together, pay no attention to the size of the boxes or anything like that. Just the overall look. Can we get a little bit closer?
If you move over.
Okay.
Give me room.
All right. Just looking at the fabric and the look of the stitches on the fabric, Helen's is definitely more like cloth. Mine is more like a burlap.
Right.
It's a very soft burlap, but it's more like a burlap. So that it depends on your preference.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that like Ada. There are a lot of people that like linen. So it's
And I have found with Ada that hands down, if you wash it
most definitely.
before you use it, then it just becomes much softer and more supple.
Because I can show you here, this one hasn't had anything done to it yet. And it's very stiff. It's almost cardstock-like, whereas this is drapey and soft because I've been handling it. Also, they may have
she dyed it, and I don't think she put more sizing on it.
right.
Yeah.
So that this one, what they do with the cards or with the Ada is they put what they call sizing on it, which is like a finishing spray, so that when you wash it, that comes off and it's not nearly as stiff. And I much prefer that. So usually with our Ada, the first thing we do is we wash it.
Yeah. So, however, back to the project. I adore this. And we got some shutters at a thrift store that I think mine may end up on.
Okay,
You have a little bit of evergreen over it, and then
that's going to be beautiful.
this. So,
Yeah. I will also not be making the drum. I'm going to hang it straight. I'm just not sure what.
yeah.
That is our first bit of stitching. All right, next
So we
up-
made out like bandits at this retreat, which
Oh my
was
goodness.
good because to begin with communication issues and everything, we were like, okay, what are we getting out of this?
No, we really,
Yeah.
they gave you so much stuff. Oh, one of the other things was you could make a small project and bring it with you. And we weren't exactly sure what to do. We had made the little ornaments that didn't,
That we never finished because we weren't sure the finishing
right.
was going to be our idea of putting it on cardstock. We both decided that wasn't going to be a
Up to
nice
the
enough
standards.
finish, which I'm so glad we did not do.
Right, because the finish, I mean, we went around and took pictures of people's finished objects because they were so beautiful. So what we did was we brought our voodoo dolls, which are pin cushions, and they're perfect for stitchers because you've got a voodoo doll that you can stick all your needles in that are pre-threaded if you want, or anything you want, you can have them all ready to go. So we brought a couple of those, and that was ours. But this is what I got from my swap. The lady that did this, her name, I'm pretty sure was Karen. She finished off the bird, and then she just glued it onto a piece of wood that she whitewashed, added some snowflake ornaments or buttons, snowflake buttons, and then went around the outside with a piece of burlap string, some twine.
It is perfect.
To me, this is perfect. This is my idea of finishing. It doesn't have a whole lot on it. It doesn't have a bunch of, extra bows or anything like that. I don't like that. I like the focus to be on the cross stitch. So absolutely perfect as far as I'm concerned. And I have this thing about wood. I just love wood. So I'm just so pleased with it. I really, really love it so very much. So I am going to be using this as an idea for finishing a bunch of my projects as well, because I have a table saw. We can get a piece of wood, cut it into whatever size we want, and we got chalk paint in one of our many
Manic
buys. And so you just brush on a little chalk paint and rub it off and get the whitewash look. So
And we have lots of smalls in the ornament books we bought.
right. So this is going to be cool. We should probably mention that we ordered those kettles.
It's gonna be a lengthy one again.
Helen's
Camera
like,
went out.
it's not going to be as long as the last one. Already, here we are at 40 minutes and we haven't even started. Okay, go ahead.
This was my swap. It came in a bag with this cute little tin.
Love the Santa tin.
And then I got a journal that's got a cross stitch on the front so I can put my initial, which is very cool. And then there was this ornament, which says 2019. And then she did a tiny, tiny, tiny little alphabet sampler on the back. So I got this and I was opening it and the lady at the table next to us said, "Oh, that's mine." And I, told her how much I loved it and everything. And then she went and got hers and she was opening hers and I'm like, "Huh, that's mine." So it was funny that we each got each other's thing.
Yeah.
So, which was very random because there were
Like
80
28 people did
people,
the
yeah.
smalls.
But Sharon was her name and she had this lovely handmade tag on the bottom. So that will go on my tree.
Yeah. Very, very cool. It was such a good time.
It was. And we met
really
a whole
had.
bunch of new people. We met a couple floss tubers. We met someone from the next town over that we're going to try and get together with
Right.
to form a local stitching group.
Even if it's just the three of us to begin with.
Right. And then there's a whole nother group that goes to another stitching store north of us, like once a month on Saturdays, that we're going to try and go to the November one. Because
Okay.
they sit and stitch in that shop. So,
We got to put that in the calendar so we remember to do it.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.
Very, very cool. And we bought a bunch of stuff, but I think we'll hit that at the end when we do haul.
Right, okay.
Okay.
So should we do the other cross stitch?
Yeah,
I
just-
only have one other, I think.
Finish up the cross stitch. All right.
I have to find it.
Well, I have two, so I'll start mine. I am continuing to work on. I am not continuing. Well, okay. I am continuing to work on this. This was one of my Stitch Mania starts, and I don't think I showed this the last time. This is Winter is Coming by Madame Chantilly. Okay, so you know how much we love the polar bears by Madame Chantilly.
So she has one for each of the seasons.
Yes.
And I think, what do we have, winter and fall?
Yes.
Okay.
I am working on the wheelbarrow. I pretty much got the wheelbarrow almost all the way done.
I think it's a suitcase.
Okay. It looks like a wheelbarrow when I'm stitching it, but okay. Well, suitcase would make sense. So I'm working on the polar bear's suitcase. And you can see I just have a little bit more to finish down here, and then I'm going to be done.
So now is this 18?
Okay. This is 18. This is 18 count Ada in the shale color. Picture this plus is the person who dyed this. So you can see here, let me grab this again. Here's the 14 count Ada. And here's the 18 count Ada. You can see the difference in the size of the boxes.
It's a much finer stitch.
Right. And you can see the difference in the size of the stitching between the two. Right there. Okay. So this is more my preferred stitch. This is 2 strands over 1 box. I started doing this and then I got totally wrapped up in it because I really love this pattern. It's beautiful.
I love the colors on it too.
I know, it's all blues. So very, very pretty. So this is what I am working on right now. That's one of them. Okay.
So I just wanted to quick show my finish from that I was working on last week. This was going to be the small exchange that we were going to do. And since we did not do it, I think we are going to finish this on a piece of wood. It's way bigger than I expected it to be. So for an to me, for an ornament, it's way too big for an ornament.
Right.
So like a block of wood would be perfect.
So do you think, would you put 2019 on that? So that you know that you finished it in 2019?
I might write it on the back. I don't
think you'd stitch it in?
I don't feel the need
Okay.
to stitch it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Or I'll do mine. Since it's a Madame, yours is Madame Chantilly too.
Yep. Go ahead.
This podcast was sponsored by,
I wish.
Madame Chantilly. So I am working on what is this? The Bear and the Tree by Madame Chantilly. And I have, I forget where it starts.
Okay, so you should fold this up so that doesn't get in because that was from
Right.
something else.
So I did a snowflake, and then
There you go.
just the top of his arm for where he is leaning over to put the star on the tree. So the star is going to come out right here,
That is that.
and the star is going to come out right there.
Okay.
So that is as far as I got, because I started this on Friday night when we were at the retreat, and then we got our primitive hair stuff, and I just totally got wrapped up in the winter
Right.
wonderland.
I got a few more stitches on Christmas tree, which is this one, and
I hope we were holding that up. I didn't even make a conscious effort to hold that up longer.
this is on 18 count linen or 18 count Aida as well. So smaller stitches and better coverage, I feel, with the fabric.
So the one we tea-dyed or no?
This is the one that we tea-dyed.
Okay.
We did this with herbal teas. So every now and then as I'm working on it, I get a hint of peach, which is very nice. But yes, I got a little bit more of the tree done, and I will continue with this because I really, really, really love the way this is turning out. I need to write down exactly what I'm doing though with it because I am changing the colors. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did in my book. But I'm changing the colors for this and making them a little bit darker because hers are very light. That green and the brown for the tree are very light. And I have done a darker color for that. So I will, when I finish it, I'll mark down exactly what I did so everybody can see. But yeah, doing a little bit darker than the called for. Loving that. All right, so those are stitching.
Yeah.
All right, shall we do knitting?
Yeah.
Knitting next. All right, I have 2 knitting.
2.
Okay. I cast on a new pair of socks. I finished my socks last time, so I cast on a new pair because that's what you do. I am doing this in our colorway that is Akami. This is the January color from our Mythical Creatures Yarn of the Month Club, which just as I get ready to talk, she has to put the last word in. There's another dog down on this end of the island who dares to bark. I don't know why he thinks that's available or possible, but he does. Anyway, this is Akami. It was our January colorway for our Mythical Creatures. And I am not following a pattern for this. I am doing a 2x2 rib that I did for 12 rows, and then I have gone into a 3x1 rib, and I'm going to take that down the length of the sock. When I get to the heel, I will probably do the garter stitch heel that I like, and then I will do the 3x1 on the top of the sock and stockinette on the bottom, probably. I don't know, I haven't gotten there yet. Things change. I am doing them 2 at a time, magic loop, on a size 2 needle, which is 2.75.
I think so.
I think it's 2.75. But I do chow goos. I love chow goos. So that is as far as I've gotten. So I cast those on and I'm moving right along. I love this type of sock because it's so easy to knit. It's just 3x1 and piece of cake. Flying through.
I cast on the paddle mitts by Tin Can Knits. It's a pattern that we sell in the shop. It's a great DK weight knit, and it's perfect for a holiday gift. So I may or may not end up giving them away. However, So I'm using Standing Stones, which is the perfect neutral for this, and I have started my cuff.
That's not Standing Stones.
It's not.
It's New
It's
Jersey
New
Beaches.
Jersey Beaches.
You said Standing Stones the other night. I'm like, why are you doing Standing Stones and not New Jersey Beaches?
Absolutely no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is New Jersey Beaches,
Which is the perfect neutral.
which is the perfect neutral.
And we call it New Jersey Beaches because
'Cause
it's sandy
It,
colored.
it looks like the beaches.
I know that some beaches don't
Looks like
have
This as much
this kind
sand.
or this kind of color sand. They've
Yeah.
got like grayish sand. New Jersey beaches are that color.
Right. So
Anyway,
I'm
go ahead.
right across the street. So I got my cuff done. I'm doing it on the cuff is size 3, and then I jumped to size 5, 4. And I haven't decided as far as my color work, because I was thinking this morning, if I held out one of our sock minis double, that's going to be the perfect yardage,
Okay.
because it calls for 40 yards per mitt
But then I can't do the
for
opposite.
the mitts, right? I mean,
We
so it
were
would just-
talking about doing it that Helen would do one in the neutral with the stripe of color, and then I would take the rest of the yarn and do one where the main body is the color and the stripe is the New
Right.
Jersey Beaches.
Because the yardage used for the mitts, you can get 2 sets of mitts from one skein. So if we sold them for the pattern with 2 full skeins of DK, then what you could do is you could do one with the neutral and the color work, and then another doing the opposite.
Right,
So that's probably what we'll do.
right. However,
We will stick to the plan.
making kits for it, it would make sense to do
I
one
mean,
skein of this and the mini and just tell
Right.
people hold them double and it'll be just enough to do
right. Or we can do a DK mini. But
it. Right. Okay.
for right now, that's what I'm doing. It's the paddle mitts by Tin Can Knits.
They're cool.
So,
I love them.
And I like having fingerless mitts. So
Also, I love the design.
yeah,
It's really a great design.
it's very preppy.
Yeah. I was a prep. I still am pretty much. I had the preppy handbook. I'm gonna date myself. The 80s, I had the preppy handbook. All right. When we did our frog it or keep it, one of the things I did was I took out my roulotte and I picked a pattern to start. And I picked the summer fling shawl. And I have cast on. I have started.
By the Noble Thread.
By the Noble Thread, yes. It is Sky Hegwer for the Noble Thread. I am starting, and that's as far as I've gotten. You count these little teeth, and 9 is one go round. So I have to do, I think, 2 more repeats.
Move over. You're kind of cutting yourself off.
There we go. Okay. My first color is Fairy Mouse, which is pinks and browns. It's a pink and brown mix. This is what it looks like. And as I add more in, I will fill in. There are 4 colors all together, so it will be very, very pretty. So that is where I am so far. And I actually started a Ravelry page for this so that I can...
Wow.
I know. Look at me
I
go.
was gonna say.
I
I started 2 new projects. No new Ravelry page.
did start one for this. I didn't want to do one for the socks because I'm not sure what to call them, but that's as far as I've gotten. We'll see how far I get the next time.
So I cast on my Carbeth. And I got as far, I'm using, Les Rev is my first color. And I have 1 more row of ribbing. It's a very short ribbing, which I found odd.
But comfortable. Do you know what it is? You don't want it coming in. You know how ribbon comes
Yeah.
in a lot? This is not supposed to. It's supposed to drape.
Just to hang straight down.
Yeah.
So I have 1 more row of ribbing, and then I go into stocking net. So I am doing Les Rev, and then I'm going to go into Hanging the Stars. Is my second
Cool.
color. So
Very cool. So pretty.
yes, and I love knitting with the DK Hill double.
I know.
I mean that just whips right through.
along. So much fun. All right. That is it for my knitting.
That's it.
All right, on to project number 3, or craft number 3. Let's talk punch needle, shall we?
Oh yeah, that's
Okay. When we were at Rhinebeck, we each bought a punch needle kit. And with the kit came the punch needle, which is this doohickey of a contraption. Our punch needles are by Ultra Punch. Well, it's an Ultra Punch needle.
I'm pretty sure it's what everybody,
Okay.
just about.
It came like this. Ultra Punch, that's the name of it. Okay. And it comes with a couple of threaders and a small, medium, and a large needle. And while Ray was here, we all
Because Ray
picked a project.
jumped on board. She bought a punch needle.
And we decided we were going to try and figure out how to do this. So we all figured out how to do it. Helen had ordered what's the name?
It's a primitive punch needle and stitching magazine.
And part of what you get is if you do it as the digital, you get back
You get
issues.
a year's worth of issues.
So we each picked a picture or an image that we were going to work on, and went to Michael's and bought all the floss that we need for it because, you know, of course you need to buy stuff. That's what I'm doing. And
Giving away the pattern. That's okay.
really,
I think it's fine.
so do I. I got started. Here is the front of my punch needle. You can see his nose. Here is the back of my punch needle, which is a god-awful mess. I am using 3 strands.
Yeah, that's what I called for.
Yeah. I am using, no, I think mine may have been 6 strands. Mine 3 strands or 6.
Oh, mine was 3?
Yours was 3? I think
Yeah,
I was
mine was
using
3.
6.
Mine was 3.
Pretty sure I'm using 6. All right. Calls for 6 strands, and to use the number 2 on the punch needle. The numbers on the punch needle decide how long your little loops are going to be. And 1 is going to be tighter to the fabric, 12 is going to be loopy like a rug. And I think you do that when you're using thicker yarn and ribbons. They do them with ribbons, which look very pretty. I am on the fence. I am really on the fence. Part of it is I'm not perfect the first time I did it, which we all went in saying we're not going to be perfect the first time we do it. We have to give ourselves a chance to get better at it and things like that. So
We didn't listen to ourselves.
didn't listen to ourselves, and I am not perfect, so I'm not 100% loving it.
Except for Ray. I will give Ray credit. She stuck with it all night.
Yes, and she really did a good job with it. Also, this is very messy. And I think part of the reason I am such a tight knitter is I like my stitches nice and neat and flat and things like that. And I don't like holes between the stitches. So crochet doesn't always work for me because I don't like the holes between them. I like it all neat and tight. For some reason I accept lace, but other than that. So for me, this is very messy. And so it's a little bit bothersome. So that's where I am right now. Also, as I said, it didn't take perfectly the first time, so I was getting frustrated. Probably should not do it at night after spending a day doing a lot of other things. But go ahead.
First, I will show you what he's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So I chose this, the Gentle Soul.
Can you turn it like... I think that's...
Okay, that's probably the best.
Okay.
Okay. So it's the Gentle Soul by Janine Happ of Two Old Crows.
Oh, I should say... Mine's by Brenda Tapia, but you could see that because it was right on the pattern.
Okay, now keep in mind I didn't put his nose in.
Okay.
That is what I have.
Where's
Now-
his eye?
Huh?
That's not his nose right there.
No, this is his nose. See, look. See how his nose comes out?
Oh, those are his ears. Oh, that looks so much better now. Okay, now I'm seeing him. I thought he was like, this was his nose and this was his mouth in here. I'm like, what is he doing? Eating the birds?
Okay.
Anyway,
So-
well, that looks so much. Well, now I can see his eyes and his nose. I see his nose now.
So several days removed, this is not as bad as it was the first night.
The first night was just...
Again, I'm on the fence. I think the first thing is we have to take it out of the hoop and find a better way to do it, because with the punching, the fabric kept getting loose, and then the punch wasn't working quite as well as it should. So I think Teresa Kogut showed that she used an artist's canvas frame,
Right.
and she stapled it on so that it just stays and you don't have to worry about it coming loose. And I think that would be
The best thing.
the best thing. I am not positive that I love the process. I'm leaning towards positively. I don't love the process. And B, am I gonna like the finished product?
Right. But we can't decide that till we
Right.
actually finish.
And I'm kind of on the fence now as to whether I actually do like punch needle. Did I just get wrapped up in?
Look, it's something that you've been talking about for a
Yeah,
while, so
I don't know whether I like the finished look of a punch needle or not as much.
Again, I think
I
part
have
of
to
it...
finish it. I think I'm going to spend the money and get the canvas cover
Yes.
so that I can staple, or do something so that I can staple it, and just give it the full.
Right.
Because number one, just doing the outline too, I do know that from the videos that we watched, they were, once it fills in, it really starts to look much better, and so that the outline doesn't, it looks messy. The loops are all different sizes.
But I think also that once you get it so it's not
Right.
up against stark white,
Yeah,
it's going to be much
and it's
better.
against other loops.
Right.
The other thing is, Ray was doing hers, and hers was a snowman, and she got all of her snowman and her branches and her cardinals done, but then she had all of the negative space that has to be filled in,
Right.
and that's daunting.
I think part of it is you go in, okay, I'm going to do this much today.
But that's the thing,
So that it's not something that you try and get done in a day. It's like, okay, so I now have to fill in, so I'm going to fill in this bit today and then this bit tomorrow, that kind of thing, and just do a little bit at a time.
I had complete delusions, that we were going to start and finish something
Right. Oh, God.
in the weekend, because we were just going to be experts at it, and I have to and we were. All three of us were telling ourselves and each other, we're not going to be good at it.
Right.
You're not going to get it the first go round.
Right.
Pick something simple, which we did.
Right.
Because the first one I had was like two snowmen holding hands, and there were all these colors and
Right.
in the sky, and it was just like, okay, no, go with simple. So we're still on the fence.
Right.
And we should do it relatively quickly, because if I let it sit too long, I'll probably never go back to it.
That's possible. We got weaver's cloth.
Weaver's cloth.
Weaver's cloth while
I think
we
they're
were
the same
in.
thing.
Okay, so we got weaver's cloth while we were in Rhinebeck as part of the kit that we got, so that we had the right fabric to do it. And what we will do is we will get the frame from Amazon. We'll just get 2 small ones, staple it in, and try it and see if we finish it and see how it goes. It goes through floss like crazy.
It's a floss hog. I don't know how people do it with the fancy floss.
And so it's we will continue on and let you know how it turns out.
I was encouraged because Ray got so much further than we did, that her back was so messy, and then all of a sudden it clicked for her.
Right.
So
We will see.
yeah.
But that's the punch needle update. Also, what I was looking at some needle applique, some felt needle applique, which we did not get a chance to start. But there was a picture of a jack-o'-lantern with a scarecrow hat, and he had a spider on the end of it. And I thought, the spider would look really, really cool in punch needle. So if you're doing the wool felt applique and you've got all the pieces on and everything, and then you put the spider in
Just
in
as
the
a little bit
punch
of
needle.
added texture, yeah.
Added texture, a little bit different. It'll stand out. So I thought it's a great skill to know how to do, even if you don't like the overall look of a full finished snowman. Having a fuzzy spider in it would be awesome.
And I'm also tiny bit intrigued about potential rug.
Oh, please God. You're not allowed to do anything with a rug until we finish like everything that we bought.
No, I know. It's just,
and everything in the past year of the magazine.
All right. We have one more thing because we almost forgot it.
Right. All right. So, final craft that we worked on.
It's a finished object.
This is an FFO.
This is awesome.
This is an epic FFO.
So back in August,
we came up with this idea.
We started working on it, and we very consciously did not mention it on the podcast or Instagram or anywhere because
for some reason we have a tendency to start things and not finish them.
We have a bit of a reputation for not finishing things.
We had this idea that we were going to hang this in the booth at New Jersey Sheep and Wool. We thought that we would get it done. We didn't, because also we have this tendency to think that things are going to take a lot less time than they actually do take. But we finally finished it, and it's so, so cool.
So if you follow us on Instagram, you saw this in our stories yesterday, because we finished it up yesterday. This is the top here.
Okay.
We made a quilt!
This is our Halloween quilt.
We made a Halloween quilt that we finished a week after Halloween.
Because that's how we roll here at the Hollow. Some of you may recognize some of these fabrics because these fabrics have all been used in our bags over the past several years. This, where is it?
Well, here, let's show the whole thing and then we can sit down and show individual squares.
So what we did was we did a quilt as you go pattern. This is usually done with flannel for a rag quilt. And what you do is you sew each of the blocks together and then you fray the edges. Instead of fraying it, we left enough that we could fold over and then French hem each of them.
We learned from Jenny from Missouri Star Quilter.
So that this is...
And we used our quilting cotton and then a piece of flannel for the batting because we didn't want to use regular batting. We wanted to use the flannel.
So each of the flannel pieces is cut to the size of the front piece of the fabric. So that there's not one great big piece of flannel in here. It's all the different squares.
So this fits my queen size bed. It just covers it as a coverlet. And so what we've got 11 across.
9 across.
9 across and 10 down.
10 down. And for the backing, what we did was we cut fabric in 2 different fabrics. We cut squares in 2 different fabrics, one black, one white, and we cut them to 1 inch larger than the front fabric. So the front fabric we were cutting to, I think, 9 inches, and the back fabric we were cutting to 10 inches, so that you had a 1/2 inch on either side that you could roll over and sew down. And then we very carefully lined it up so that there is a black and white pattern on the back. And as we did each, we laid out...
we can show now.
Okay. Because this is getting very heavy to hold up.
Yeah, it's a very heavy quilt. Especially when you're pushing it through the sewing machine.
All right, so for the front fabrics, we picked several different patterns of fabric that we were going to be using, and we cut out squares, 9-inch squares. And then what we did was we lined them all up so that we knew this row has these 9, and then this row is going to have these 9, and we were moving things around to make sure that we weren't duplicating so that you wouldn't have 2 of the same way on top of each other.
And then what we did was we had it so that Mary Beth sewed the odd rows and I sewed the even rows. That Mary Beth started with black and I started with white, so we knew that it would be alternating.
Right. And then
And
as we
that's the
finished a
back.
row, we lined them up on the table and laid them down to make sure that everything was matching. And also, since both of us were doing it, we were double checking each time to make sure our seams were lining up. Because when you sew together, what we would do would
So
we'd
that
be
your corners all kind of come
right.
together here.
So we made sure that we were doing that carefully. And actually, we did a really good job as
There
far
was
as that's
one
concerned.
that was off.
Okay. But
And that
one
was it.
out of 90?
Yeah, just one
I'm
square
good
that was
with
off.
that. That was her square.
Okay.
Just saying.
And all we did was, we just did an X. That was the quilting.
Yeah.
So you can see the, I'm not even sure you can see it on that one. It's just an X from corner to corner. And
You know
then,
what? Here, do the orange one because I think the orange one shows.
okay.
Even that one doesn't show so much. Anyway,
Yeah.
we used white
It shows
thread.
on the back.
But you just do an X to attach the front, the fleece, or the flannel and the back together. And then we took the rows and took them and sewed them together and opened it up and sewed them together so that
And
you
what we
went all
did
through.
was, Mary Beth started at the top with the rows and I started at the bottom, and we kind of came together so that we each had a half, which was not the right thing to do.
Because that middle one going through was really tough.
Yeah, doing that final stitch, so that when you were doing it, if you lined it up properly, going through the throat of your machine, you only had one square when we were each individually putting them together. But then when we put the two halves together, you had a whole half of the quilt that you had to shove through the throat of our machines. And our machines are not quilting machines; they're not meant for it. So that was a bit of shoulder pain. Actually, that was the worst part because doing the final binding on the top and the sides was easier because it was just maneuvering the whole quilt on the left side. So, but I'm so thrilled with it. It's going to be on my bed until I finish another quilt. I don't care.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is.
I've wanted a quilt for my bed for so long.
So I get the next one.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to do a stripy Christmas quilt.
Yeah.
For me.
Because Mary Beth was looking at the strip quilt as you go.
Right. From Fat Quarter Shop. It's called Stripe As You Go Quilt As You Go striping or something like that.
Which we can do the same. We can do it the same way if we want. We can talk about this later.
Right. Yeah. We can figure it out.
Yeah. So, anyway, I will insert the video of the whole quilt so that you can see it in all its epic beauty.
It's gorgeous.
It is not going to win
No.
any awards. The binding is an atrocious mess if you look at it very closely. However,
It passes the galloping horse test.
right, and I love it. I just love the look of it. I love patchworky things.
Right. I was worried about getting the fabrics so close to one another that it was going to be too much. But then when we were doing the binding
yeah.
and you bind between each one, now you have a sashing in between each one so that you have something that frames
Breaks it
each
up.
and breaks up the fabric so that it's beautiful. So pleased with it. We took it up to show my mom yesterday, and Helen's like, we brought up this epic thing that we finished, and she's getting this look on her face. I'm like, you don't get to keep it. We only brought it to show you. You don't get to keep it, so don't even get that in your head.
I had to wrench it from her hand.
But yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Really, really happy with it. And we will get better at it the more we do.
Right.
But I see more of
finish
these in
it.
our I
Yeah.
definitely see more of these in our future. Actually, maybe we do the squares for Christmas too, because I love this big block of the color.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we have the jelly rolls all cut, so
Right.
it's easier to cut the 10-inch squares than anything else.
Yeah. Love it. All right. So that's our epic finish.
YouTube, if you would like to use this as our thumbnail, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, here you go.
I think that's it.
Nope. One more quick thing.
Oh, right.
You finished a book,
I did.
and it was
I
a
did
good
very
one.
Yeah.
So
So I finished Fanny Flag, The Whole Town's Talking.
tell them what you did.
I hugged this book when I was done. I love her style. She has the greatest style. I cannot, Meredith hasn't read it yet. And there's just a piece to it that just, I'm going to cry. Brings it all together.
Okay.
It's an
I'm going to have to
awesome,
read this next.
awesome book. And it's just like the last couple pages, it was just,
It's a Fanny Flag.
it is. It's, I loved it. So
It's on my list.
I can't say anything else about it.
Okay.
So.
I finished Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I really enjoyed it. I am not going to, rush out and get the second one. I don't feel the need to do that just yet. There's some things about it that I would like to know what's going on next. So I will read the next ones. I think she's got like 15 of them in the series. It just goes on and on and on. But so I am going to continue it. However, it's not one of those where I have to drop everything and go into it. And there's a perfectly good reason for that. Because yesterday, 2 days ago, Erin Morgenstern's new book, The Starless Sea, came out, and we had pre-ordered it. I would like to point out we pre-ordered it in July, and we have not gotten it yet.
Amazon, that's an epic fail.
That is. So we went online on yesterday and ordered it, and I think it's waiting at the post office for us. So we have a second copy that we ordered. This is waiting at the post office for us, and I don't know whether the first one's even shipped yet. It's not supposed to come until the 12th, which is just ridiculous.
Which I don't understand. Why have us pre-order things? I assumed that by pre-ordering it, it has always been scheduled to come out on November 5th.
Right.
That they would ship it to me on November 4th so that I would have it waiting for me on the published date.
Because why are you pre-ordering
why
it rather
am I-
than going to
why am I-
to the bookstore?
Right.
And I know that one of the things that they like to do with the pre-orders is it shows the how-
interest and bookstores will order
Based
copies based
on-
on pre-orders kind of thing, which I buy into, but deliver my end of it.
Right.
Get it to me when I was supposed to, not
Right.
a week afterwards. So that we waited for the published date, ordered the book, and had it 24 hours later. So why did I spend the money 6 months ago?
Right.
Um,
However,
I mean, it's not a tremendous amount of money. That has nothing to do with it. It's because I didn't cancel the pre-order.
no,
I'm going to have to. I have a Kindle copy, and I'm going
we
to
got
have
it on the Kindle so we could start reading it immediately.
hard copies coming. And I don't begrudge the money because we will keep a hard copy. We will give a hard copy away
We have people
to
in
a
the family,
sister or a mother or something.
so a copy will go
Yeah.
to somebody. However,
So,
we have
Amanda,
both started
do
it.
not buy the Starless Sea.
She's already got it.
Did you?
It's in her nook.
Oh, okay.
It's going to my mother.
Right.
My mother doesn't
I
watch
know
this.
she hasn't bought it.
She hasn't bought it. My mother doesn't watch this. I'm getting very warm. Look, I'm getting
Yeah, all of
very
a sudden
red.
it got really. I heard the heat kick on. So.
Anyway, fantastic book so far.
Yeah.
Living up to the Night Circus.
Yeah.
Very much so. I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. Helen read in a book about not doing things on electronics before you go to bed. We both are very, very bad at going through Instagram just before we go to sleep, or doing a puzzle on the iPad before we go to sleep, or scrolling through emails, that kind of thing. And I tend to be very, very restless when I sleep. Since we got the Fitbit, it's telling me that I'm restless 12 or 14 times a night, and I don't sleep for more than 45 minutes at a stretch. And since I have stopped doing that and reading, I am reading either on the Kindle or an actual book. I'm having stretches of 4 or 5 hours of solid sleep. So there's something to it.
Yes, we are trying to banish
The
the
electronics.
electronics from.
So the whole point of...
I mean, the Kindle doesn't count because you're not scrolling; you're just actually reading,
Right.
and it's it's backlit so that it's better for you.
But my thing was having the 2 copies of the Starless Sea is
Yeah.
going to be a good thing, because neither one of us is going to be just stretching on and
I was
on.
gonna say, so remember in all the comments from last week when everybody said, "Oh no, we love the long videos." Well, here you go.
Here you go. You're welcome. Anyway, very quickly, I was just going to say, if we only have one copy of a hard copy, we're both reading this book, whether it's on an electronic device or whether it's the hard copy, but having both of us having a hard copy to read,
Right.
we will read it very neatly and give it to my mom. And my mother will understand because she has given copies of books to people with coffee stains because she spilled her coffee, but they understood because we are all book lovers and you know that somebody enjoyed it before they gave it to you. And we're okay with that.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think now
we have talked quite enough. I don't know why I'm so hot. I'm wearing a
Oh.
shawl and the quilt.
we didn't do our
Haul.
Do
Oh,
our haul
okay.
quickly.
Quickly.
Okay. All right.
We didn't get that much.
We didn't, but we did get some. All right, so here we go. This is all cross stitch because this is from
And
the
it
retreat.
was, there's a retreat held by a cross stitch store.
So we went and
You
bought.
want to go by from the cross stitch store?
We ordered the digital version of Just Cross Stitch magazine. The Halloween version, the Halloween is a special one, so this is not included in your order. So that we picked this up, and it has got some awesome fabric stitching things in it, and we are both Halloween fans. So this is the 2019 Halloween. One of the other things we found was our store, and I don't know whether your local needle stores do this or not, but they have remnants of fabric
So you get little baggies that are just tiny little pieces.
that are $5.
So here in this I got, it's all linen. Yeah, I don't know what the counts are. They don't give you a lot on the counts, but so I got that size.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah,
That's really pretty.
got that one. And I got that one. And this is hand-dyed linen, all 3 sizable pieces for $5. You're not going to get a hate on it, but the small stuff and the ornaments, like we were just showing, and we have the Christmas ornament version too,
Right.
will all fit.
This is a piece of 9x14. Just about all your projects would
Yeah.
fit on a 9x14, unless
For
it's,
the
you
small
know,
stuff that we do. So
and Isabel, unless it's a primitive hair.
yeah, her stuff's big.
So we got some Aida, some 16 count Aida, and some linens in different colors. Then we got, we picked up some patterns. We picked up 2 more of the Brenda Gervais wordplay. I got July because I really love all the seashore things and we're at the beach. So I love that.
This is August.
And I got August because I love the herbs.
It comes up much better on the camera than it looks in person. These pictures are terrible.
But I think they do that so you can't copy it.
It's ridiculous.
So we got those.
And we
And
got
then-
from Plum Street Sampler, a bowl full of Marys. We got the Mary one.
These are little ones.
Yeah. You make little pillows and you have a bowl of pillows.
This is Brenda Gervais. This is Candy Cane Lane. Love that. I should probably maybe take it out of the thing so you can see. There. That's better. So that's Candy Cane Lane. So we got that one.
And then we also got the Holiday Hoopla from Brenda Gervais. Is that one? I just love him. Even though it's all white, I hate. Can somebody explain why no matter which white you use, it makes a terrible X as opposed to the other colors?
And we have tried railroading.
I railroad on that. I get the best X out of it, but it's not the same as like using a full color. So
And then the Primitive Hair had a bunch of her patterns on sale, and she was selling them for a bit of a discount. And you know how when you have something and you think about it and you just keep thinking about it and you can't let it go? There was one and we went to get it and it was gone. So we have pre-ordered it through the shop. Excuse me. And then there was this one, and this one just sat with me. So I got Red Riding Hood.
I love that.
Oh my God.
That is just perfect.
I love this so much. And then this one we're intrigued by.
Winter Ice Queen of the Needles. And I would never buy it based on this picture. She had samples of it. It's a needle book. So what you do is you stitch the outside of the needle book, and then there are instructions on how to, put the whole thing together. And then the inside, you get a page, and she's got them numbered. So you have 24, 26, and 28. So you have your different needle pages. And really, this doesn't do it justice at all because it was so pretty.
It folds. It's a trifold book that folds in, so that I think you have it's one piece that you fold in half, and the outside will be on one, and the inside will be on the other half, and then it's folded together, and then it trifolds in, and they're so pretty. And she's got them in all different designs. It's just really, really such a neat idea.
We love the polar bear.
But we have a thing about polar bears, you know that.
Again, look at all the white I bought.
It's okay. I got black.
True.
But it's all right. It's cool because I'm doing Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. So we just thought it was just such a neat idea.
Yeah. So that's our haul. That's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. I picked this up. They had a table where you could leave things if you weren't done with them, if you were done with them. And I picked this up. It was a freebie, and it's just got some different patterns and things. But I thought these guys were kind of cute. I don't see myself doing anything with it right away. Yeah. It's a craft book that you just stick with your other craft books, and when you need something like
a snowman ornament,
you just run and get it and put it together. So that's what I got. All right, that is it. That is all that I have. I'm done, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Don't have anything left on the chair, so I think we're good.
All right.
All right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful week.
Yes.
Getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving here in the United States, so start saving up for that turkey.
Start panicking there, Yeah. No big deal.
Big thing. Oh my God, I can't believe we forgot. Okay.
Oh, right.
We have a trunk show coming up. We are going to be at CC's Wool in New York, upstate New York. I'm going to get you the name of the town because it's ridiculous that we don't have that. But we are going to be at CC's Wool in New York, and
it is next Friday, November 15th. We will be there for her knit night.
It is in Guilderland, New York. If you are coming, please reach out to us. Let us know what you would like us to bring with us, because we are not bringing everything that we have.
Very limited space. So
So let us know what you want. Are there colors that you want us to bring? Is there a weight that you want us to bring? Do you want us to bring DK, worsted, fingering? Let us know. And please don't say everything, because we can't. The back of the toaster will not fit everything.
In fact, I'm pretty sure CC's Wool is about the size of the toaster.
So we can't. Yeah. So please, let us know what you would like us to bring with us, and we will try to accommodate you.
Right.
Okay? All right. Now I'm done.
Okay.
I'm good.
Quickly. Go forth and create, everybody.
Before Mary Beth opens her mouth again.
We will see you next week.
Have a wonderful week. Goodbye.